hole open. Okay. So probably about a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. Just tell me when you want us to push to rugby for rookies. Okay. And then tell us when we're off cam so we can check the screen. Awesome. Thanks, man. Hey, the viewfinders around now. We can see ourselves now.
Look at that. That's an upgrade.
Are we going to see program in that monitor then?
Yeah.
You want us to bend down? Trav, what do you want? Do you want us to lean like this? Or stand up straight? Standing up straight? Okay.
Looks like we're a little off. All righty. Are we off a little bit? Are we on?
You mean like off school?
Like, does my head get cut off if I stand?
Just lean back a little bit.
Okay.
So we may have a talking point too. So let's set up the matchup and then perhaps we talk about Utah. Hey, Utah, they need to win. Major League Rugby, live from Harriman, Utah. Tonight we've got a great matchup. The defending champs, the Seattle Seawolves, are in town, taking on the Utah Warriors. Welcome inside the booth here at Zions Bank Stadium. Jeremy Jordan alongside former national champion at BYU and Utah Warrior last year at fly half, Johnny Linehan. Johnny, great matchup. Defending champs are here. Utah hasn't tasted victory since February 1st. They need a win tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And Seattle looking to avenge their first home loss from last week and come on the road to a difficult Utah team who has had not much success this season. So Utah's going to look to get back on the right foot, and Seattle's going to look to maintain a playoff position.
Last week, Toronto came in here and put up 64 points. What do you expect from the Utah defense tonight?
Yeah, well, hopefully less than 64 points, but Toronto came, they put on a clinical performance and blew Utah off the field. So Coach Alf Daniels has had his work cut out for him this week, and Utah's going to want to look to get a fast start early on and then maintain that fast start throughout the rest of the game.
Okay, if you're new to the sport, no worries. Johnny Linehan is going to explain Rugby for Rookies presented by BECU.
Great, so rugby is a wonderful sport. There's 15 active players per game. So sometimes there can be a yellow card, sometimes there can be a red card, but for the most part, there'll be 15 on the field, and then 8 substitutes can come on throughout the course of the game. The great thing about rugby and the beauty of it is all players play offense and all players play defense. It's a continuous game. There's 5 ways to score. There's try, penalty, kick, conversion kick, and drop goal. And for the most part, it's just continuous and a beautiful free-flowing game.
Should have a fun one tonight. We had 95 combined points last week. That was the most in Major League Rugby history. What will we see tonight? Seattle and Utah coming up next after the break. Tonight's match is brought to you by Virginia Mason Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, exclusive medical provider of the Seattle Seawolves. Discover more at virginiamason.org/ortho. Virginia Mason, be remarkable. Washington Federal, your banking team partner for more than 100 years and awarded Best Bank by Money Magazine. Ivar's, seafood, Seawolves. It's the perfect match. Ivar's restaurants have been serving up award-winning seafood since 1938. Stop by Ivar's for Seattle's original seafood. Auto Source, Big D, Embassy Suites, and by Nui.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried and Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Tooele. Humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
Starting, Johnny, with the Utah Warriors.
Looking at the forward pack, big lock Matt Jensen, the big 6'7" lock, will be a target in the lineouts this evening. The Warriors have had success with their mauls this season, and Jensen is a huge factor. Looking into the back line, Gannon Moore, the 6', 220-pound U.S. Eagle, will be key in getting go-forward ball and controlling the midfield.
And for the Seattle Seawolves, presented by Virginia Mason.
So in the forward pack, number 2, Stefan Kutsia, the big South African hooker, scored 2 tries against San Diego last week and is the key to the Seawolves dominating scrum. And in the back line, Brock Stoller, the right-wing kicker from Canada, is tied first for points in the Major League Rugby this season and will be looking to add to that tally this season.
Lots of quality in the reserves as well, which I imagine we could see here at elevation. And Utah going with a very similar lineup. Only one change among the 23. 6 changes for Seattle after the loss against San Diego. So here we are, cloudy conditions, sun poking its head out here. The Utah Warriors in the all black with red and white trim. Seattle, of course, with the bright green, which is a staple of Seattle sports with those teams like the Mariners and the Seahawks. So a distinct color. Mariners almost got it done today at Chicago. I happen to be a Mariners and a Seahawks fan. So it's going to be fun today. Unfortunately, the Mariners lost. Perhaps the Seawolves can come out with a victory here in Utah. Hello to our friends watching on Root Sports in Washington, and of course KMYU here locally in Utah, ESPN Plus, and internationally on Facebook. Our referee tonight, Luke Rogan. Assistant referees Elgin Williams and Khalil Harrison. Utah coached by Alf Daniels. Seattle coached by Richie Walker. And here we go. Utah in need of a win, have won 1 game this season, 1-4-1, 8 points. Second lowest team in the league, need a victory. Seattle in a playoff position at the moment, and we are underway in Zions Bank Stadium. Seattle controls and will attack first. John Cullen with a tackle there. Seattle muscling its way out of its own 22. Ben Sema ready if needed. Here comes the kick from the fly half. And this is a great kick, pinning Utah back. Don Patti, the fullback, will lay back to Josh Reeves. The Brazilian national team fly half as he kicks into touch. And we'll see our first lineup from the Seattle Seawolves.
Yeah, pretty windy here this evening. Sounds like a great kick using the wind from Sema. And Josh Reeves not trying to get much back on it, but up to halfway. Look forward to this first set piece for the Seawolves.
First lineup from Stefan Kutsia, as you mentioned, from South Africa. 21 Super Rugby caps, 2 tries, as you mentioned, Johnny, last week against San Diego in a loss at Fire Stadium, the first loss at home in 2 seasons there. It's tough to win in Seattle. Nice ball from Turner around the edge. Seattle on the attack. Phil Mack. Jeremy Leonards lays it off to Mack. Sema with the dummy. Gives it up to Uli Khalifi. And the penalty earned by Seattle. Let's see if they go for 3 immediately or keep the pressure on. And Khalifi is hurt, that left ankle. Uli Khalifi, 5'11", 260, Washington native. Former Eagle, played in the 2015 World Cup. Sema laid it off, and then that ankle got twisted on the tackle by Saya Uhila.
You hate to see that. Looks like he just got rolled up on. Looks like the big man's in good shape, so hopefully he continues. Early on in the game, you want your full strength and your starters on the field, so this is a key.
And you never want to see that a minute and a half into this one. Got a pack from the scrum half, Phil Mack. And there is no tee out there, so look at this. Phil Mack is on the ground and going to hold the ball. He's the holder for Brock Stoller. I've never seen this.
I wonder if it's just because it's windy and the ball can't stay on the tee without some assistance. So.
And Brock Stoller will line up the penalty. And it's good. Well done by Brock Stoller. And Phil Mack, it's 3-0 Seattle.
That's the quick start that the Seawolves wanted. And last week we saw Utah get down early on against Toronto. They're able to claw their way back and tie it up at 19-19. Both teams going on 19-0 runs, but they do not want to find themselves down early on this evening against such a dominant team like the Seattle Seawolves.
32% of all the points Utah gives up are in the first 20 minutes. So looking for faster starts. Down 19-0 last Saturday, Johnny. 19 straight, and then Toronto put it on after that. It was a crazy second half. Brad Tucker. Let's check out the keys to the match as Ben Sema launches this one deep for the Utah Warriors.
Well, the keys for Utah is to be proactive, not reactive. They've got to string together phases by being patient, and they have to treat the ball, or the pill, like I like to call it, like gold.
So Nata Lauti. And here's the keys to the match for the Seattle Seawolves presented by Washington Federal.
Well, Seattle is going to want to be physical and force turnovers with big hits and aggressive counter-rucks. They're also going to want to make sure the backs for the Warriors don't get able to spin it out wide and in space where they're dangerous. And they're going to want to start fast like they have this evening so far and finish strong. Don't give the Warriors a sniff.
Penalty on the Seawolves, so Utah with an opportunity to turn up some meters on the boot of Josh Reeves. And you're right, this wind is significant. Seattle taking advantage of it with a couple of big kicks from the big boot of Ben Sema. And Josh Reeves from Christchurch, New Zealand. Wife is Brazilian, so he's the fly half for the Brazilian national team. Will kick this one. Doesn't go into touch, and Brock Stoller will use it. I think Utah was hoping for a line out there, didn't get it done. Patti goes backwards as he spills it. Here's Don Patti. He'll take it himself. He's tackled by Brad Tucker. Ruck forms near midfield. Johnny Ika will box kick into space. No one was home. But a nice play by Phil Mack. Back to Ben Sema, and Sema into touch. Outside of his 22, so that line out is going to come way up for the Utah Warriors. They get a break.
Yeah, a little bit of chess match going on early, trying to fight for every inch of territory. That could play a big factor. Like you mentioned, Jerem, Seattle's got the wind at their back, so they're going to want to utilize that. And Utah doing a good job through Don Patti on running that ball back up to halfway. Now they're in a good position in the attacking third for a line out.
And our first line out from Jeremy Lieber, essentially the fourth different hooker that Utah's tried to use. Too far, Johnny Ika coughs it up. Not a knock on as it was sideways. Tim O'Malley with it. Here's Sai Uhila. Uhila barreling his way inside the 22. Lance Williams wants some as well. Utah on the attack.
Turnover.
And Seattle Seattle takes it. Utah looked like they were in business, but cough it up. You said treat it like gold. They did not in that set of phases. But Utah gets the penalty, holding on against Seattle. Will Utah go for 3 to tie it up here?
Yeah, well, that's probably the safe bet. Trying to go through. Tim O'Malley looks like he's pointing. Yep, they're going for 3. But going back to that turnover, Seattle was actually really unlucky that they were penalized in this instance, because Lance Williams, great pick and go, good fast ball, but didn't protect it. And then I couldn't see in this sun from our view, but beautiful defense by going for the ball and all tackle, ripping it off. Lance getting a turnover. Unfortunately, they penalized, and this is a good chance for Tim O'Malley to tie this game up.
O'Malley, one of the most accurate kickers in the league. The Kiwi, former Mitre 10 player, 84% this season. 21 of 25, 6th in the league in points. 21 meters out. Straight through, bangs off the scoreboard, and we are tied at 3.
That's the start. That's the hit back that Utah needed to get on level terms. Last week, it took them a while to warm up. This week, it looked like we could see some of those same signs, but getting 3 points and tying this game up is crucial.
Last week, you and I watched a game where 95 points were scored, and there was 1 penalty taken, and it was at the very end. It was a crazy day. Now we've seen 2 successful kicks, and it's 3-3 here at home. Alf Daniels told us this afternoon in our conversation with him, head coach for the Warriors, we need to quell momentum if it gets out of hand a little bit. And I think Utah did a nice job answering the 3 there. On the restart, Utah inside their 22. Johnny Ika feeling a little bit of pressure. Did Seattle take this ball back? Still waiting for it to come out. No, they did not. Ika sends it back to Matt Turner. Seattle on the attack. Here's Ben Sema. Born in Buenos Aires, but a capped eagle. Moved to DC when he was a kid. Brock Stoller past the midway line. And a quick sub, by the way. That's Justice Duru-Sears into the match. The first 10 minutes. Physical play near midfield here between these two. Sema. And Oli Khalifi with that ankle came out. So couldn't quite give it a go, although he tried for about 10 minutes. The keeper and potentially a high tackle. That one around the neck. And an injured Warrior as well. That's the 8-man John Cullen.
It looks like a clash of heads here. We might see it on the replay.
Oh, Angus McClellan and John Cullen. Oh my goodness. And John Cullen is a guy who's very familiar with the team in green and blue, the former Seattle Saracen. And you see the blood just immediately coming out all over his hands. My goodness, the head-to-head contact there. And John is one tough cookie. Former Utah Ute football player, offensive lineman, about 60 pounds lighter than when he was there. He's a paratrooper, a medic in the Army, and he took that one right above his left eye. My goodness. Angus McClellan seems to be okay, but immediately you're going to see a blood sub as Ada Elkington will come in for John Cullen.
Yeah, so normally when there's a substitute, it's you're off and you can't come back on, like we see with, unfortunately, for Oli Khalifi. But because there is blood in this instance, John Cullen will have a chance to come off, get that stitched up if needed, and then go back on.
And he's standing at midfield, and he's going to go to the locker room. Yeah, you would think stitches there. So Ada Elkington in, and the line out for Seattle. Gutsia over Lance Williams, who was extremely high on that one, but caught by Brad Tucker. And the maul forms. Utah. The nice push. Gutsia. Phil Mack. Inside ball to Joey Iosefa, former Hawaii running back, 5th all-time in yards and touchdowns. Bruising run from the Toronto native Justice Duru Sears. Mac, Seema. Outside run, and wide open on the outside for Brock Stoller. And Seattle is on the board with the first try of the match, 8-3 Seawolves.
Well, check out this pass from Suniula. This is just a bit of magic from Seattle, capitalizing on Utah's penalty inside the 22 and just clinical stuff. Big bruising runs over the advantage line, and then the ball's out. This is exactly what you want to see from your backs. Seema out the back door, and then Suniula. Look at that, no look. Bit of magic. And then the man we spoke about, Brock Stoller, the key to the game, will have a chance to convert his own try.
His 4th try of the season. That's a team high. Up to 7 points in this contest. And will look to convert this one. He was 0 for 3 last week. And on the 4th try, Ben Seema got a crack at it and got it. The margin was 6. So those 3 misses were tough, because it could have been a tie down the stretch. We're going to see the hand help on the tee, so this doesn't fall off, as Brock Stoller will try and add 2.
These are tricky conditions up here on the hill in Harriman, Utah. Beautiful scenery, but because we are on the hill, it's always a wind tunnel, so let's see how he attacks it.
With the wind, he's got the distance, and he sneaks it inside. 10-3, and that's a big kick for Stoller, who was a tremendous kicker, but struggled last week. He gets his first one to go in the wind.
And that's beautiful, and we should credit the assist for the fullback, Matthew Turner. He might have the most assists on conversions in Major League Rugby history with that, because I've never seen that in this competition before, but beautiful stuff there from Stalling to add the extra 2.
So 10-3 for the Seattle Seawolves, the reigning Major League Rugby champions after defeating Glendale, which I think was an upset. A lot of people thought Glendale would win it in year 1. Seattle changed the story. Ben Seema on the restart for the Seawolves' first ever trip to Utah. Last year they played once. It was in Seattle. Seawolves came away with the win. 41-30. 10 combined tries in that one. Long kick to Ika. There's Josh Reeves. Assesses. Kicks high. He'll chase. Johnny Ika will chase. Ben Seema there. Collision. Seema ran into his own guy. Ran into Sequoia Burke Combs. Ball goes wide. Out to the 40-meter line. Lance Williams with the tackle. Matthew Jensen underneath. Phil Mack with a quick ball. Ball in hand, backwards. Loose ball, Gannon Moore kicks it. Gannon Moore's chasing it with Brock Stoller. Moore, it's right by him, couldn't find it. Seattle maintains possession. And Seema will clear it. Keeps it in. Dunpati with the wind goes past him and out of bounds. What a kick with pressure from Ben Seema. And the wind has changed the game in this first half for Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, you can credit the wind for that help. Look at Gannon Moore, couldn't quite get his hands on it. He's got a lot of pace. The US Eagle plays on the wing for him, and the centers for the Warriors spills it. Ben Seema picks it up from the base. Yeah, with the wind, but he only had 5 meters to work with the sideline. Puts a beautiful kick, and then a great spin. That is about as good a kick as you'll see from a dangerous position for the Seawolves from Ben Seema.
And this wind is pretty strong. Whoever's going to the north, which is to the right on your screen, has a distinct advantage here. Jensen, Ika, Reeves out of Elkington. Congratulations, he and his family had their first child a couple of weeks ago. Reeves kicks, blocked, and then taken. The 8-man, but a penalty for a knock-on. I was waiting for that whistle. Reichert Hadding was saying, I'm going anyway. And the knock-on clearly batted down by Kellen Gordon, the prop.
Yeah, you can see the knock-on, unfortunately, coming there from the lock, Brad Tucker, after that charge down. But interesting decision from number 10 on the Warriors, Joshua Reeves, to instead of kick that one in the air, he went for a little grubber kick, which is where you keep it on the ground, try to hop it, just to get under this wind. So it is having a significant effect. Utah a little bit lucky there from that little knock-on from the Seawolves.
And this will be our first scrum of the match. Seattle, a tremendous team On their scrums, 96%. Utah, not quite that good. Seattle, the best in the league at winning their own scrums. And Luke Rogan, referee, will reset it. Had a chat for a moment with Justice Duroux-Sears. 45 caps for Canada, played in the World Cup in 2015. Utah, of course, with Jeremy Lieber there at hooker, 5'8", 200. Trying to hold his own in the mix there with Franco Vandenberg and Angus McClellan on that front line. Still waiting for John Cullen, who left as a blood sub after going head-to-head with McClellan.
9, stay there.
Ika to O'Malley. Sai Uhila puts his head down. Utah trying to respond, down 7. 3 for Seattle, 3 for Utah, and then the 7 for the Seawolves bring us to 10-3, 15 minutes in. Reeves wide to Patti. Patti! It's tackled hard.
I'm happy with that.
To Natalauti with the fake. Gets an extra meter or 2. Ika, Lance Williams. It's hard to get past that seawall. When your defense is so good they have a nickname, you know that's pretty good. Gannon Moore. Stoller hanging on. Ika to Vandenberg. The Warriors trying to find some space here. Not much space to work with. Big counter ruck by Ada Elkington. And a penalty against Seattle.
Clear release.
Not releasing. So let's see if Reeves, into the win, can find touch. The short side is to that other side. And that's where he will attack from.
Yeah, the Warriors bailed out a bit there. Lance Williams going in strong, but all alone. And unfortunately, Brad Tucker got called for not releasing after he had made the tackle. Now, when you go in, you have to release. After you make the tackle, before you can play the ball, you have to release. That is a new rule in the last 5 or 6 years or so, because when I was playing, I loved to tackle and then just get up on my feet and rip the ball off without giving them a chance. But just like the offensive player has to release the ball, so does the defensive player. And there, the referee ruled he didn't, and so it's a penalty.
Successful line out for the Warriors. Reeves to Uhila past the midway line, drags some Seawolves. 8 meters out, Ika waiting for options. Patti in space. Patti, that's nearly taken away to Natalauti. Lays it back. Reeves, Williams. Will there be any space for any Warriors here? So hard just to get these 20 meters. Uhila to Reeves. By Nicolo. Not a lot of people here. Elkington. Nice move inside. Fends off. Kutsia. Finally gets past the 40-meter line. Ika to Angus McClellan. Lance Williams. Now there's some space. Williams palming the ball like a basketball. Ika digging it out. By Nicolo. Moore almost drops it. Moore! Inside the 22. Vandenberg! Rumbling his way into the try zone! And Utah responds. There was a single crack in the glass, and Utah slipped through.
Well, that's the patience that Coach Alf Daniels spoke about was the key to his game and his team's game this evening, was that patience, build up phases against a solid seawall of defense that the Seawolves show. But here it comes. They were short side. Vinocola goes in. Great drawing pass. Gannon Moore attacking the line. Just holds on to it and then gives it off to his prop, Franco Vandenberg. And you love to see the big man spread his legs and get out in the open space like a gazelle. Dots down. And Tim O'Malley will have a chance to tie this game up at 10-10.
Second try this season for Franco Vandenberg.
We'll go for a hydration break, yeah?
The former junior Springbok.
It's 18 and a half,
22 years old.
Yeah.
And his second try of the season. Tim O'Malley with the chance to tie this thing up at 10. And the response, like we talked about, Alf Daniels saying, hey, we need to stop momentum. And Utah answers. Let's see if O'Malley will tie it up. And he does so. 10-10 for the first 18 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's a big confidence booster there for the Warriors, tying this game up.
We'll step aside for the water break. 10-10, the defending champs Seattle in their first ever trip to Utah, tied up with the Warriors.
bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried and Jensen has been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Ties it up with a Franco Vandenberg try.
Yeah, well, facing all the elements so far in this first half into the wind. The Seawolves defense was rock solid, and then just that one little break, and that's what the Warriors need to do, capitalize on every mistake that the Seawolves make, because there isn't many. And great dot down there from Vandenberg, and you see the excitement from the teammates tying this game up 20 minutes in. Crucial.
All the reserves outside the try line celebrating there. Vandenberg went right into Brock Stoller, by the way. I don't think he really cared. I was going to just run into him, I guess. 10-10 on the restart from Ben Sema. To Lauti with the grab. Uhila out to the 22. Sun dying down behind some clouds. Haven't seen any rain, which is good. We've done a couple of games here with snow this year as Reeves kicks into touch on the full. Lineup coming for the Seattle Seawolves. They won 4 of 5 after a 1-2 start. This is the fourth road game. 1-2 on the road.
18 blacks.
And John Cullen here on the near sideline. Cullen will come in, perhaps stitched up after going head-to-head, a good head knock out of Elkington, and typically a starter. Will come out, played 8-man for a spell, and good to see John back in the match. Bandaged up and ready to rock. Kutsia off his hand, and he's banged up. A knock on by the Seawolves, so Utah will have a scrum. Kutsia seemed to be hobbling for just a moment. Johnny Ika will put it in.
Fellas, let's work together.
For Utah, third
so let's work together and get it
worst
right.
point differential margin this season, 61 points. Started with a win against Austin. Had a tie at home against Glendale where they were up 20-plus points, but have not won in 63 days. The taste of victory would be quite sweet today if Utah were to beat Seattle. That'd be a big upset, too.
Yeah, definitely. And at the start of the season, Utah was actually one of the top-ranked defensive sides. Giving up 64 points last week is going to put a damper in that, but we know they have the talent. They just haven't been able to string together a full 80 minutes in a few weeks.
8th-ranked defense. Utah 7th-ranked attack. Last season, Utah was the #1 defense in the league. Struggled on offense. Seattle 5th on offense, 3rd in defense. See another put in here from Ika. See if referee Luke Rogan likes it. Cullen takes it. Phil Mack aggressive defensively. And Tim O'Malley
play it now.
Running through Nakai Penny. Here's Jackson Kaka, former tight end at New Mexico and BYU. Sayuhila, that distinct blue cap. Nice tackle by Kellen Gordon. McClellan to Tim O'Malley. O'Malley trying to break loose. The captain. The grubber from Ika. Well done to pick that off. Turner, Stoller. Stoller with the step and then taken down hard by Uhila. Turner back inside. Utah scrambling. There's some space here. That's Hatting, the 8-man. Phil Mack. Quick ball. And Seattle knocking on the door here. Gannon Moore with the tackle. Phil Mack. Sema. This ball goes quick off of Leonard's. And Utah takes it. Advantage for the Warriors. Seattle had a good thing going. knocked it on. O'Malley. There's Cullen. Wide to Lance Williams, former Hawaii linebacker. Former teammate, I believe, of Joey Josefa.
Advantage over.
Near the touchline. Back inside. Here's Vandenberg, the try scorer for the Warriors. 10-10, 23 minutes in. Reeves, Utah with numbers here. By Nicolo with that slow ball. And the catch from O'Malley. Counter ruck from Stoller. There's a war of attrition in the middle of the field here, Johnny. Cullen bruises his way to midfield. And Seattle takes it away. Turned over by the Warriors. And the box kick, the lefty from Phil Mack. Donpati in open space. This is where he's good. And a big tackle from behind by Burke Combs. Right now it feels like whoever doesn't make a mistake is going to be in a good spot. Vainicolo. Gannon Moore cuts it inside. Moore with a chance. Moore goes inside. Tries to fend his way off. Try-saving tackle at the 22. Gannon Moore with some life here. Jackson Kaka to Uhila. Seattle has retreated effectively here. Vainicolo inside to Vandenberg. But Utah with a good platform to attack from now. O'Malley inside to Reeves. Reeves looking for Patti, couldn't find him. Spilled back past the 22. Lauti, tough to tackle in space. 10 meters out. Ball spilled back, but eventually knocked on, I believe, by Utah. Is that the call? We have an injured man or three. What a sequence. Oh, that had to be 30 phases combined. And Angus McClellan is slow to get up.
Yeah, 30 phases at least. That was beautiful. Look, Vainicolo on this play did a bit of everything except scoring. Frees up Gannon Moore, and then a great run. And there were a couple of moments here for the Warriors. They couldn't quite free it up. You see Reeves screaming for it. Gannon holds on. If he tries to free that up, but that is a great ball and all try-saving tackle there from the fullback, Matthew Turner, scampering back and saving a certain try. So Seattle saving themselves in the depth there by taking the ball with the tackle and not letting Utah have an easy offload and score to take the lead.
Gannon Moore, the leading try scorer on this team with Lance Williams at 3. Started at winger for the U.S. in the American Rugby Championships against Chile and Argentina. And almost got in, but like you mentioned, try-saving tackle from the 30-year-old Matt Turner. And he's made a lot of tackles like that in his career, playing sevens with England. He's actually coached Sri Lanka. So in that situation, 2 guys back, 1 big runner, a couple of guys.
Turn back on, guys. Scrum.
That's a fast break, if you will, and he prevents any damage from the Warriors, as Angus McClellan was attended to. And the trainers will come off. We're gonna have a scrum. It looks like for Utah. So Seattle on the penalty.
So let's start like that.
And Utah's elected to try for 5 here.
Yeah, okay.
You see the wind still blowing strong, and you kind of see Utah as they're going. They were deep in their own territory, and they didn't elect or even look like they wanted to kick once, because that is a stiff breeze they're up against. Even the goalposts are shaking. So they're doing a great job at minimizing Seattle's effect with the wind early in this contest.
Crouch.
Utah with a chance to take the lead about 10 meters out.
Set.
Ika will put in. Reeves inside to O'Malley. O'Malley 2 meters out. 10-10, 26 minutes in. Jackson Kaka 1 meter away. That Seawolf famous for being stout in these situations. Lieber
Stay behind.
Pick and jams here. And is Utah in? They're close, but they're not quite in. There it is! Utah takes the lead. Patient, and it paid off.
Yeah, well, just like I said before, Fitz, Vainicolo doing a bit of everything. Started that one from a great drawing pass up to Gannon Moore, and then he picks it up with the forwards and is able to muscle over 5 points of his own. So just the person that you want to see finish that drive off, because arguably he started it all. But this is a different Warriors team that we've seen from these past few weeks, Jam. This is a team that is being clinical this evening. They're doing everything that they haven't done, especially they didn't do last week. They're looking after the ball, they're going forward, they're making attacking plays, smart decisions, and that's why they find themselves in the lead.
Alf Daniels told us, we need to hold on to the ball. Let's not make a crazy play. Let's be patient with it. And that sequence that felt like 10 minutes was a great example of what Alf Daniels wanted out of this. And now the Warriors are up 15-10 with the conversion pending from Tim O'Malley.
And this isn't a bad performance from the Seawolves either. Utah's just capitalized on every little thing that they give them.
O'Malley into the win, and the kick is good and nearly deflected by Brock Stoller. That was close. So 2 for 2 for Tim O'Malley, and it's 17-10 Warriors.
Yeah, Brock getting off the line, look at that. Tim just enough vertical to get off and over and through the sticks for a crucial 2 points. And that's why you saw Stalling come off it, because last week it came down to a few kicks, didn't it? So every kick is crucial. So kick is perfect for both teams on the evening so far.
And O'Malley's probably that close because the wind is blowing so hard. So
Take him back.
gets it to go. 17-10 Utah Warriors over the Seattle Seawolves in the second year of Major League Rugby. Seawolves with a big run. That was the 8-man, Hatting. And Seattle immediately inside the 22. Sema back to Hatting. Hatting wide, and it's knocked on by Brock Stoller, who's then leveled by Johnny Ika. And Phil Mack did not like that.
Just relax.
Coming over to have a friendly thing, and Brock Stoller is down. Ika destroyed him after the play.
Yeah, you don't like to see that. Stalling upset with himself, knocking the ball on, but you're always taught to play to the whistle. Seems like Ika didn't hear the whistle blow. Maybe he did.
But it's an obvious knock-on in that situation, is it not?
It is, but you got to keep playing, because who knows, mate? You can't watch the ref, see if they have advantage, see if they missed it.
Plus, he needs to tackle him, not just shoulder into him. So we'll see if Brock Stoller's okay, and he is a huge piece for Seattle. The #1 point scorer in the league as of now, because he's passed Sam Malcolm. And Stoller with all 10 points for Seattle in this one.
Yeah, we saw last week, you know, the game was tied up, and then Utah gave away a silly penalty, ill discipline. That's another one of their traits that they have to knock. And so if this goes against them after they would have had possession, this could be a crucial play against them.
A conversation had with Luke Rogan and Captain Tim O'Malley and the whole team.
Yeah, he's got a wrap though as well, yeah?
Yeah, looks like a penalty.
So it'll be kicked into touch, and you'd imagine that it'd be on Johnny Ika right there. Vainicolo looking like perhaps he's got a hamstring or something,
Make sure we wrap.
as he is off the field now as well.
Yeah, well, that's a huge blow, you know. Johnny Ika, referee called no arms in that tackle. So you lose the ball and you lose one of your star players in Vainicolo.
And Seattle 5 meters out now, trying to tie this thing up.
It's one.
All forms. Utah, stout so far, sliding to its left. We'll see who emerges with it.
Use it.
Ball's out. Vainicolo hops his way back into play. But Seattle right there. Mack going to his left where there are numbers. Kutsia with the keeper. Inside to Duru Sears. 3 meters out. Seattle down 7.
Stay there, boys.
Pick and jam coming.
Use it.
Kutsia. Tackled by Uhila. Gordon. Can Utah form its own wall here? Seawolves patient. Duru Sears.
stay behind.
45 caps of experience.
Oh, he's
And
in.
that one's dotted down. And Seattle gets the try, takes advantage of the Johnny Ika penalty. 17-15 with the conversion pending.
That's what happened last week to the Warriors. You give up silly penalties after the whistle when the ball's surely yours. Let the Seawolves get back in this thing and possibly tie it up. And a great pick and go there from the bottom of the ruck. Gets the ball, dots it down on the white chalk. And this kick will tie it up. So Warriors shooting themselves in their foot with that one.
Looked like it was Brad Tucker on the try, his second of the season, second try of the day. And we are going to continue to see Matt Turner as the holder here. Typically just off the tee, but the wind's still swirling. Stoller has a penalty and a conversion. Trying to tie it at 17.
Well, as a former punter, I can appreciate a good hold. This is a crucial part of the game, so good on you, Mr. Turner.
And the kick is good, so 2 for 2, and now 12 points for Brock Stollard. We are tied at 17. Both teams have answered the call of the other each time.
Yeah, and both teams actually haven't given the other team many opportunities. It's just every time inside the 22, it seems like one or the other is coming away with points. And so that's exactly what you want to see from both offenses. But Coach Alf Daniels is going to be very frustrated at Johnny Ika giving up that easy penalty leading to 7 points.
17-17, Ben Sema receives the restart.
Yeah, that's good. Well done.
Final 8 minutes or so here of the first half. Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. Jerem Jordan, Johnny Linehan, and our crew here for the first Seattle match in Utah in Major League Rugby history. It's caught backwards, or spilled rather, by Nolan Tuamoheloa. Done Pati now. Pati with a couple of fends. Gets it to Gannon Moore. Moore cuts it inside. The Eagle makes his way past the 40-meter line. Gannon Moore all the way inside the 22. He's had a couple of nice runs tonight. Dynamic in space. O'Malley, Uhila. Warriors trying to answer the bell. Reeves with a couple of nice moves. The Brazilian fly half. Uhila on the pick and jam. If the Warriors go to the open side here. You can hear the cowbells. They hand them out at every game. They've got a fever for a victory here. Williams, Pati. Back to Reeves. Moore. Getting Moore. Back to Jackson Kaka. Laid it off to Tuamoheloa for the try.
Well, almost his first touch of the ball besides that knock backwards from that clearing kick, and he's in the corner. Vainikolo getting his hamstring put back together on the sideline, but great try from Nolan Tuamoheloa in the corner, and that's what you want from the Warriors after giving up a silly penalty, hitting back immediately. Now as they spin out to the back line, as we look on this replay, I thought they blew it here. I thought Gannon should have given the ball a little earlier, held onto it when he had a man outside, was able to pop it up, and then Jackson Kaka, a beautiful offload like we see. We call those Sonny Bill Williams, the New Zealand All Black. That's the offload you want to see, and a great dot down in the corner.
Tim O'Malley will have a tougher conversion here. And there's Gannon Moore being worked on after a couple of really nice runs. The Eagle, who repped in the recent American Rugby Championships, getting worked on. So now Vainikolo and now Moore, and Moore is limping, not a good sign. One of Utah's dynamic runners out of the back.
Yeah, we see Jared Whippy there with the team, waving him off, saying Gannon's a tough cookie, he's going to stay in because he's been the man of the match so far, sparking this Warriors attack. And the Warriors fourth, is this their fourth try?
Third.
Third try.
O'Malley will not convert this one. Well, wide right, and perhaps maybe not even the distance into the wind. That's a tough kick. So his first miss. Now 2 for 3, and it's 22-17. A couple of penalties early. And then Seattle with the try, and Utah with 2, Seattle with 1, and now Utah with another. 22-17, and that is a wild ball into the wind this direction. See if Seattle gets to have another kick before all is said and done in this half. Final 4 minutes.
Take him back.
Josh Reeves into the wind, keeps it low.
Six, stop.
Get a bit of distance.
Yeah, but you got it
Bouncing near the touchline and flip back. Matt Turner will go high.
Keep on.
Josh Reeves underneath. Feeling some pressure. Over to Don Patti. Patti cuts it inside. Patti! Don Patti! Being chased from behind. Spills it over to Lance Williams. And again, Seattle with a try-saving tackle. Vandenberg, wide to Angus McClellan, rumbling his way down the sideline. Tonata Lauti is tackled down near the end line. Lauti inching his way forward. Lance Williams, the former linebacker. Here's Ika. Reeves, the dummy to O'Malley. Reeves spins 1 meter away. Angus McClellan, big tackle by Nakai Penny. Uhila trying to drive Matt Jensen. Possibly a high tackle in that situation. Picking and jamming. Luke Rogan in the mixer.
Holding on.
And holding on. Utah coughs it up. Knocking on the door, and Seattle will be able to alleviate the pressure here with a kick.
Well, there's so much to talk about from that sequence. Just a beautiful break, like we see here on the replay from the fullback, Don Patti, stepping off that left foot, going right up the guts down the middle. And then this tackle from behind. It's the second one of the evening from Matt Turner. And he can't get it offload off. And then against any other team, this pass here from Vandenberg would have freed him up. McClellan out inside to Tonata Lauti. But just scrambling defense from the Seawolves. And I think the story of that sequence was that goal line defense from Seattle, knocking on the door, not wanting to give up anything, having pride in their goal line, forcing a penalty, keeping the Warriors out.
And that's a nickname for a reason, Johnny. The sea wall, right? And I feel like the Warriors have had multiple opportunities to just make a simple offload that probably would have led to a try multiple times and haven't done it.
Off the back.
That one knocked back into touch. Seattle will have another throw. Stefan Kutsia, South African, will line it up again. 21 Super Rugby caps for him. Successful line out to the 8-man record Hatting, fellow South African. And let's see if Seattle can get any points on the board. Down 5 here. The final spell. The Seawolves, Matt Turner, driving his way through Johnny Ika. The keeper inside. Phil Mack. Zima. There's Penny. Part of those 2017 CRC BC Bears. Josefa, the former running back. The 8-man Hatting. Hatting wide to Brock Stoller. Stoller with the move. Spilled out. Counter ruck is pretty good, but a whistle came.
No advantage.
Knocked on.
Well, we've seen some exciting rugby this evening. Brock Stoller looking like, oh, good job there from the assistant referee, not pick up his flag. We see clearly on the replay stayed in bounds, but then spilling that one forward as he threw it back inside. But this has just been great rugby. Both teams been patient on attack, looking for their opportunities, but then also when those opportunities have come, both teams have had great scrambling defense, and in that case, it was the Warriors' turn to keep the Seawolves out.
Scrum for Utah in the waning moments of the first half here. And for Utah, you have to gauge how aggressive you want to be in this situation. You've got the lead. We've crossed 40. Perhaps a kick into touch if Utah wins this scrum.
Set!
Josh Reeves is ready for it. Johnny Ika puts in. Right to Reeves, and he will do that. He'll kick into touch. And there's the whistle. First half has ended. Utah 22, Seattle 17. What a first half. That was great rugby, Johnny.
Yeah, great rugby and a great start in front of these fans in Utah for the Warriors, taking this lead as they go into halftime. Seattle will look to come back on top.
We will step aside. Utah last week gave up 64 points. Now against the defending champs in a playoff position, Utah with a very solid first half. 3 tries in that first one as Gannon Moore had a bunch of nice runs. And Nolan Tuamoheloa dots it down. The Warriors are up 5 at the break.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of a sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
Tooele. Humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
Halftime at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. The Utah Warriors up 22-17 on the defending champions, Seattle Seawolves. Now joined in the booth by Hillary Kellner, and we've got an exciting thing, the World Cup in rugby coming up in Japan in September, and fans have an exciting opportunity.
Actually, yes. So we are with .vote. So if anybody has ever heard during the games or during the matches, go to warriorsrugby.vote. That is us. What does that do? You can earn prizes or anything like it and enter a prize to win 2 tickets to Japan for the World Cup, which is pretty cool.
Okay, so you could get tickets to the matches. I guess what all is included in that?
So far we are only offering the tickets to Japan for the duration of the World Cup. Obviously, whoever the winner is, we'll work with them to accommodate however long they can go. But yeah, so it will get you all the way to Japan, and then if more things get worked out the way they should be, then we might be able to get some tickets as well for the matches, as well as maybe even hotel stay.
Okay, that's pretty exciting. We'll tell you exactly how you could win tickets to the World Cup in Japan coming up after the break. But first, the Warriors up 22-17. You want to go to the World Cup? We'll tell you after the break. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
What's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drag.
Welcome back to halftime. Utah 22, Seattle 17, talking with Hillary Kellner. Now, if you were watching the commercials during the break, you know the answer to this, but Hillary, tell the people again. So there's an opportunity to go to the World Cup. How do people actually win? What do they have to do?
So we are giving away 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for the World Cup. And all you have to do is go to warriorsrugby.vote, enter any of the contests that they show up, either during the games or at any point in you're at home on your phone, you don't know what to do, go to warriorsrugby.vote, fill out your email, first and last name, and boom, you entered. I just literally quoted the commercial.
There you go, yeah. You hear it multiple times. I think Johnny Linehan's doing that right now as we speak on his phone to try and go to the World Cup in Japan.
I mean, honestly, I want to enter it myself. I know, I don't think I can because it'll look biased, but I mean, it's 2 round-trip tickets to Japan.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. What'd you think of the first half of rugby here?
Honestly, it's my first actual Warriors game here, and it was insane. We just felt the entire crowd go crazy, and we were just standing up there and just watching everyone. It was pretty intense to see the vibe that the crowd gets, how much they are truly, truly, truly into this.
Well, they got the free cowbells. It's awesome, right?
And the injuries, kind of. You know, I was told at one
intense.
point there wouldn't be that many injuries, and then they came.
I don't know who told you that, but they're a liar.
He's over there. He's over there.
Well, awesome. We appreciate it, Hillary. And good luck to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back with the second half. Utah up 5 at the break. We'll step aside for a couple of moments.
All that's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a dance. country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried and Jensen has been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Tooele. Humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
At the half, Utah 22, Seattle 17. Let's walk you through the tries that we've seen today. 5 combined. It started with Brock Stoller in the 10th minute to give Seattle the lead after a 3-3 tie. Stoller scored the first 10 points for the Seawolves in this one.
Yeah, this was a good build-up here from the forwards. And then a little bit of magic out the door from number 12, Suniula. And then just a great finish and an easy finish there. But one, they'll take a bit of style points there from the Dolphin dive. And then the Warriors hit back.
Renko Vandenberg with his second try. Nice run by Moore. Offloads to the South African. And he dots it down in front of Stoller. Then Viney Kolo snuck it in as Utah scored 2 in a row. And Brad Tucker, after a patient string of phases, Johnny, dots it down.
Yeah,
these teams traded tries for a while.
Yeah, almost the same exact try from the Seawolves that the Warriors did. And that's kind of how it's been, just back and forth rugby for both these great teams.
And at the end of the half, Nolan Tuamoheloa gives Utah the 22-17 advantage. And we saw some good patient play from both these teams, Johnny, in the first half, as Utah was able to dot it down 22-17. And Utah up. This is a 1-win Utah team, second fewest points in the entire league, Johnny. They played a great first half against a very stout Seattle team.
Yeah, well, they're playing like they have everything to lose, and looking at the standings, they do have everything to lose. And so they've come out, they've kind of punched Seattle right in the mouth. So now we're going to see how they respond, the Seawolves, against the strong wind in this second half.
Yeah, that played a big factor in that first half in the run of play, being able to chew up some meters. How do you think that will affect Utah being able to take advantage of that?
Well, I think Utah has to play smart with the ball. They have to look after the pill. They can't get too greedy. Just take what they can. You know, Seattle is going to be fighting the uphill battle, the upwind battle. So they're going to have to pin them down in their own territory and take advantage of this game.
What do you expect from Seattle? Down 5 at the half, 1 and 2 on the road, lost the first 2, fighting an uphill battle now. Down just 5, though.
Yeah, well, Seattle's a great team, a championship team, you know, the inaugural and the only Major League Rugby winners. So they're not out of this. They're going to come back fired up, and they'll be ready.
Yeah, a championship squad as we look to these two teams entering the field. Once again, the cowbells are out in full force and excited for this second half of rugby. 64-31 was the score last week for the Utah Warriors against Toronto. The most points scored by a single team, Toronto 64. The most combined points by two teams in the about 1.5 years of Major League Rugby. Tonight, much more patient, quality play, stringing together phases, and Gannon Moore has that left knee taped up. And here we go in the second half between Seattle in 4th place and Utah in 8th. Ben Sema bouncing that ball, getting ready for this one. This is the only game tonight in MLR. Houston at Glendale tomorrow night. Sunday, NOLA at Toronto. Toronto's first home game after 8 away. And Austin at San Diego. Dunpati, last one out there. And here we go, whistle blows. Luke Rogan says, let's play, and we are underway in the second half. Utah and Seattle. Jackson Kaka, the flanker. The nice run to start things. Johnny Ika to Reeves, and Reeves will kick with the wind, goes wide. Ben Sema going after it, and you look at the effect of the wind, carries that past the arms of Sema and into touch.
Yeah, well, that was a great kick, chewing off a lot of distance, not just kicking it down the field, but across the field as well. Stays in bounds like it has to, then takes one bounce across the sideline. So fortunately there for Sema, didn't bounce off him and go out. But Seattle will start the second half of the line out just inside their own territory.
Stats of note, possession 62% in favor of Utah in the first half, but 79% territory for Seattle. So when Utah had it, they were getting in the try zone quickly. Phil Mack to Ben Sema. Matt Turner. Turner trying to turn a corner. Gets past the midway line. Gannon Moore tackles him. Big Justice Duru Sears to the 40-meter line. Sema quickly. Inside ball to Jeremy Leonards. Big forward pack of Seattle. Sema back to Iosefa, the former running back for Hawaii, churning his way. It's Brad Tucker, try scorer. Justice Duru Sears gave it up to Leonards. And Utah wins it, holding on the call.
Little hook at Jeremy Lieber, getting in there, getting his mitts on the ball. And unfortunately for the Seawolves, that's a turnover. A little bit reckless there. Big pass. Great hands there from Justice Duru Sears, and then taking it in. Support couldn't arrive in time, and then Jeremy's on his feet, has all rights to the ball. Referee deemed holding on, penalty. Utah Warriors to get out of trouble.
Josh Reeves will kick into touch. And Utah with a nice platform to attack from here. If you missed it earlier this week, it was April Fool's. I don't think anyone missed that, but what the Utah Warriors did was they announced that Haloti Ngata, the former all-pro defensive lineman in the NFL, was coming back to rugby, playing rugby, and there were some people that thought it was serious. A lot of people. And perhaps he will at some point, who knows, but the Utah Warriors with a pretty good prank on April Fool's. And Gannon Moore runs straight through, lays it off to Tim O'Malley, and he will dot it down. What a play by Moore and O'Malley, and finally that offload from the player who broke the line.
Yeah, well, Gannon links up there with his captain, Tim O'Malley, and that's a gift. Gannon might be looking back on film and thinking, oh, maybe I could have stayed on my feet, but he's an unselfish player. And the key of the game, and one of the players to watch was Gannon. This up the guts, shrugs off the would-be tackler, goes through a gap, is able to link up, and Tim O'Malley has the gas and the smile to finish underneath the posts. And he should add an extra 2 with this conversion. So the Warriors starting the second half like they've started this game, shocking the Seawolves.
This will be a gimme for O'Malley, who scores his first try in Major League Rugby. Kick is good. He's 3 for 4, and it's now 29-17. Warriors.
Yeah, and like you said, Jeremy, this is the first time they've really had their chance to free up and get that offload around the corner, especially from Moore. He's been making line breaks all this evening. He's able to free up, but that's the key of great support running. And that's why you don't give up on the play. You don't just watch your mate go through the line and hope he gets to the end. You stick with him, support him, and then you find yourself on the scorecard with an easy try yourself.
Jackson Kaka.
Keep going. Take him back.
Reeves with the wind.
Stop
Look
him
at this
down
ball
here.
fly.
Seven.
Oh man, that carries an extra 10 meters there as Matt Turner makes a nice catch. Turner keeps it low enough to cut through the wind a bit. Kicking battle, Reeves goes high. Reeves will chase, and look at Ben Seema have to try and catch this like a punt returner. Into the wind. And Don Patti runs into touch. Trying to toe the edge there, but goes out.
Yeah, credit Ben Seema there. Great catch in the wind, like you said, like a punt returner. That one had snow on it, maybe quite literally here in the high altitude of Utah. But then a great returning kick into the corner. And then Don Patti a little bit too cute, trying to tiptoe down the sideline. Had his foot on the line, as we see there from that angle. So this is a great attacking platform for the Seawolves to feed into this line out.
Seawolves win the line out. Down 12 here in the second half at Utah. Utah looking for its first win since February 1st. Just one win on the season, 1-4-1 with 8 points. By the way, Utah will get the bonus point. That was the 4th try. Nice play on the edge. And then Johnny Ika drives the player out of bounds, but Brock Stoller keeps it alive. Seawolves still stringing together phases. Brad Tucker breaks through and dots it down. What a play and what an answer from the Seawolves. Brad Tucker with his 2nd try tonight.
With just pure grit and determination. Warriors did a great job trying to get him out over the sideline. Seawolves able to keep that one, recycle it in. And then Tucker just skipping through some tacklers, dancing his way through the try line. It's a lot of muscle on that young man there. In the backfield, we see Sai Uhila for the Warriors down, getting some treatment.
And Brock Stoller will attempt to go 3 for 3 on conversions. See Leonard's down, Uhila down. Another look at this one. And the missed tackle by Jeremy Lieber was a big one.
And then Reeves trying to get his arms around the ankles, but Tucker 5 meters out, it's not going to be stopped like that. So great force, great strike back. Seawolves hanging in this one. Let's see how the Warriors respond.
Here's Stoller for the conversion. Again, you see Matt Turner, the low-key MVP of this match, as the holder. And that is a low rocket, and it's good. 3 for 3 from Stoller.
And 3 for 3 from Turner.
That's right. 29-24. Utah up a try. And Sai Uhila still being attended to. Utah did something pretty cool here tonight. The Salt Lake Stallions are part of the, or were a part of the Alliance of American Football, the AAF League, which folded this week. Any season ticket holder got complimentary tickets to this match. Kimball Kerr, the general manager of the Utah Warriors, cool gesture there. We saw some fans with their Stallions gear on today, able to come to this match for free. It's unfortunate that league folded. There was some excitement in the valley about it, but
time's back on.
Apparently financially it didn't quite hold up. So, and that's a testament to what Major League Rugby has been able to do to create this league, and they're into year 2. They have plans for year 3, and so far so good with the sustainability of Major League Rugby. Our best wishes to those affiliated with the AAF as they figure out the next step. Here's Patti as Uhila stays in the match, by the way. Patti trying to break through the line. Tough tackle from Nakai Penny. He's been physical tonight. Here's Moore, who's been really good. Lauti dancing his way near the touchline.
Turnover's good.
The ball stolen by the Seawolves. Utah off their feet quite a bit there. And the ball is out. Lauti trying to tackle Justice to Rosiers, and Cullen comes over and takes him into touch. And the Utah Warriors bench goes crazy.
Well, that's a true David versus Goliath. And that one, Tanata getting bumped off there by Big Justice, initially going back for a second crack and forcing him over the sideline. So that's a big win there for the Warriors, and they're fired up.
Lauti was stoked. The key as a former fly half to tackling the big guys is what, go low?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't many small parts on big guys, so you try and go for the smallest, which is usually the ankles, but even those are pretty big.
If they don't skip leg day, that's right. Benzema. Josepa. Suniulu. Stoller on the edge. Stoller's been perfect kicking tonight, has a try as well. Approaching 50 minutes in this one. Leonards. Seattle down 5. All the way to the other end.
Whoa!
Big run, a nice layoff. Burke Combs cuts it inside, gets past one man. Oh! Gets around and inside for the try. What a run! Sequoia Burke Combs ties it up at 29.
Well,
he could not be tackled.
He hasn't had many chances this evening, but he made the most of that one. But check out the hands from the big man. Brad Tucker's been everywhere. Dotted down a couple of times himself, and then this assist. But Sequoia Burke Combs had plenty of work to do, and then a couple fancy moves. Shifts gears, dots it down underneath the sticks, and the Seawolves surely going to retake the lead here with this conversion kick.
With the conversion, it's going to be 14 straight from Seattle after being down 12, and it's good to take the lead back 31-29. So those adjustments at halftime successful for the Seawolves, and they have taken the lead back. You see a couple of subs. Eric Duchel starts a lot. He came into the contest for Cam Polson. And we're going to see the depth of that Seattle bench. Utah flexed its depth muscle a little bit as well. Like we mentioned, 6 changes from the lineup that lost to San Diego at home by 6 on 3 missed conversions. Utah did not change the starting lineup at all after giving up 64 points. They felt like they could change some things internally.
We're good.
And Alf Daniels talked about, we're going to change our attitude. That's what's going to change more than the lineup.
Time you run.
So 31-29, tremendous match here. If you're just tuning in, stick with us. We've got 30 more minutes of tremendous rugby left in this one. And a tight one as that ball bounces, is free to be picked up and finally goes into touch. Line out coming for the Seawolves. Jackson Kaka has a smile as he wanted to chase that one, but this is pinned Seattle deep in their own territory. Look at Kutsia saying, are they too close? Stefan Kutsia. Line out is successful. And the keeper for Reichert Hatting. Benzema alleviates the pressure into touch. Bangs it off the grandstand. Nolan Tuamoholea stand of the match. There's Tanata Lauti, led the league in tries last year with 9. We saw him dotted down twice last week for the first time all year. When he's getting in the flow, that means good things for the Warriors. Line out for Utah. And Jeremy Lieber, former All-American out of Lindenwood. Jensen taps it back. Kaka. Reeves. There's O'Malley. Let's go back to that blind side. There's Ika Uhila, who's becoming the cyborg with all that tape. Rico Vandenberg has a try tonight. Ika, Reeves, Moore, nearly obstruction from Patti. Ball, coughed up, knock on. Obstruction call, tap and go. But too quick. They'll bring it back. Matt Turner wanted to go all the way.
Yeah.
Donpati called for obstruction.
It was 5 meters from where he took it. Yeah, it's back over here.
As we see there, Gannon looked like he might have been freeing it up. Don trying to run a support line. Gannon doesn't give it, and unfortunately, Don obstructs. It's unfortunate for the Warriors. They're starting to build a little bit of momentum after the restart. They got their hands on the ball. So now Seattle will have a chance to control the tempo and the pace of this game.
Oh, good.
Another line out for Stefan Kutsia from South Africa. Seawolves averaging 26 a game.
Just there.
Brogan's saying, hey, Warriors, you got to step back a little bit. Successful line out. Here they come, Sema. Oh, huge run from Joey Yosefa, the former running back at Hawaii, and he is tackled by Johnny Ika, the scrum half from behind.
Slowing the ball down. 15.
Grubber goes into touch.
Number 15.
It's going to come back for offside on Utah. So an aggressive Grubber with the advantage, and they'll bring it back. And Seattle has taken momentum from Utah. Utah led most of the first half. And another look.
Yeah, check out this. Suniula just a bit of gold again. We saw him set up the first try with Brock Stoller in the corner. And then a bit of gold off to his mate, Marvin Yosefa. The former running back, hard to bring down. Warriors do a good job, but then they infringe their offside. And Seattle kicked to the corner.
Yosefa's a big boy. 6 foot 250, fifth all-time in Hawaii in rushing touchdowns and yards. 7th round pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, played with the Patriots and Panthers as well. Actually played with Houston Sabercats last year in Major League Rugby. So Seattle trying to make this a 2-score game.
Hold.
Ball forms.
Inside the 5.
15 meters out.
Playing advantage. Slowing the ball down, 7 black.
Ball still in hand. Finally down.
Number 7.
The whistle comes and another penalty on Utah. John Cullen's out of bounds and looks a little woozy.
Once it spins, make sure you go around. It just spun and 7 just went in the side. Yeah, on this side. Yeah. It's a passy, so it can be. So
he's pointing to his head. I don't know if that early head knock he got is starting to bleed again. Might need to get it retaped, but if he's down on his knee, you know, something's wrong because he's one tough dude.
Vice captain of this team, played football at Utah, 2011 All Pac-12 player, on the practice squad for the Chargers and Jets. Was an Eagle. Utah National Guard paratrooper and now medic, and he'll come out. Out Elkington will come in for him. And we'll see if this is a permanent sub or not as Cullen jogs to the sideline.
Different infringement.
And we'll see if he gets some treatment and perhaps comes back in. Out Elkington.
I like it.
In at 8-man now.
Okay, time back on.
Sub, so John Cullen out in the 57th minute.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Seattle trying to add to this lead at 31-29.
7 around.
All forms. And dotted down. Stefan Kutsia adds to the lead for Seattle.
It's just too easy there from the Seawolves. They got in kicking range. They could have kicked a penalty. Maybe they chose not to from this win. They kept electing to kick to the corner. They trusted their forward back, which has been so dominant. We look at the statistics, and then that's about as easy a try for a big man, and an easy one that he'll look back on from Stefan Kutsia. Touches down. Warriors need to do something quick to stop the bleed and get back in this one.
Boys, you got anything?
Okay, Cullen is actually a blood sub, so he's going to possibly be able to come back in. Good help, by the way, by Api Nakatini, former Hurricanes player, 18 caps with Fiji. And Suniula out, or Suniula in. The other brother, Roland, into the contest for Yosefa as a substitution. 5th try for Seattle, so past that mark of 4 for the bonus point of 4+ tries. Both teams coming out with one of them. Another high-scoring affair last year was 41-30. And Brock Stoller trying to go 5 for 5 on his kicks.
It's a bit too far.
Goes low, chips it, but it's no good. So the first miss tonight went with the low line drive. And no good. 4 for 5 tonight. And the score is 36-29. That keeps it at a converted try, 1-score game.
You're going to bring him off?
Yeah,
Time off,
crucial.
guys.
Both
We
these
will have
kickers
that
have been
water break.
pretty spot on this evening. Another good hold, but unfortunately you couldn't quite kick that one through. But
Wally's down.
7 points or a converted try.
Chill on. Water
This
break.
can make for an
We're
exciting
going to play it down.
final
The water
20
break.
minutes.
Hydration break. We'll step aside. 36-29 Seattle. With a nice run here in the second half. The final 20 coming up after the break.
All that's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing. All that's left to me.
Seattle with a 19-7 run here in the
Oh,
second
no.
half. Sequoia Burke-Combs. What a run. To give Seattle its 4th of eventually 5 tries here in this match.
Be very
Credit the
careful.
big man,
Yeah.
Brad Tucker. Plays in the
You're
forward
on your
pack as a
knees
lock,
and then
but
you hold the
beautiful
ball.
offload.
Are we go?
Don Putty did decent job, couldn't hold on. And then around the would-be tackler of Nolan, Tuamohiloa dots it down, and that sucked all the wind out of this Utah sails. So after this hydration water break, let's see what they've got. Hopefully they had some of Michael's secret water to get back into this one.
And
If it
then
was
from
secret, yeah, we wouldn't know
Oh,
about it.
okay. I will.
36-29. In this one, Utah led 22-17 at the half. Both teams crossed the bonus point threshold of 4+ tries.
Right, time back on.
And Utah trying to win for the first time since February 1st. Seattle in 4th place in that final playoff spot at the moment. Still a lot of rugby to be played in the 16-round regular season here of Major League Rugby. After the try, here we go. New scrum half, by the way. JP Smith for Seattle. Duchel. Here's Sequoia. Oh, big hit on Tanata Lauti. Tackled by Lance Williams. Padding. Brock Stoller. And look how quickly that ball gets from touchline to touchline. Expansive rugby here. This is Roland Suniula. JP Smith. Ikatini. Stoller. Tackled by Elkington. Seattle a little more pace on the ball here. Wide again with some numbers. Matt Turner goes right into Tanata Lauti.
Again, you.
JP Smith. Elkington. Nikatini. Good matchup there. Inside run.
Fine, it's on the shoulder.
Nice string of phases here from the Seawolves. Ben Sema tried to keep it himself. Brad Tucker, 2 tries tonight. Ball's wide. Utah look like they're scrambling. That ball thrown into touch. Utah looks a bit tired. Some hands on hips right now.
And it shows they're getting back behind the offside line pretty slowly, and a few times from our vantage point, looks like they could have been pinged there for being offside. That's starting to show, you know, both teams dealing with this altitude. Utah obviously deals with it every day, but it does seem like they're pretty fatigued here, and that could play a huge factor in these final 20 minutes. And Seattle looking to take attack to keep foot on the gas.
I'll stand as well.
20 minutes left in this one. Hear those cowbells. We're at Zions Bank Stadium in Hiram, Utah. We're up on a bluff in the Salt Lake Valley and quite windy to the north. Utah has really yet to take advantage of that wind that we made a big deal out of in the first half. All with Angus McClellan, former Eagle, behind Elkington. Releases. Reeves trying to use that wind. And does so. Look at this kick. Inside the 22. Brock Stoller electing to offload. Matt Turner, holder of the year in MLR so far. The Seawolves have retreated. The full 15 in position now. Kellen Gordon meets Angus McClellan. There's Duchel, the Air Force captain. Duchel, nice chunk of turf. And look at this run.
Get going, Black.
Seawolves being extremely patient now with the lead. Suniula brothers hooking up. Past the midway line. And not rolling away. A penalty against Utah. That patience paying off. What has changed for Seattle in this second half, Jimmy?
Yeah, well, I think just Utah's getting sloppy on the defense there. Coming out one-on-one, trying to make a big hit. Seattle with some misdirection, some skip passes, some behind the decoy man. They're just getting in behind this advantage line. And Utah is struggling to read the offense. And they're paying for it on defense.
No hooker, Dan Trier-Wheeler in for Stefan Kutsia. It's a one-score game.
Stay 2 meters.
Utah trying to play some good defense here at home. Seattle trying to push this to 2 scores. Well, back to no one. Seattle loses a chunk of ground here.
Playing your advantage, boys.
Seawolves push to that far edge. Josh Reeves with the
down
tackle.
there. High tackle. Yeah, that's it.
Put a penalty on the Warriors. High tackle. We saw back-to-back penalty kicks that were converted successfully. We have yet to see a penalty since. Another look at that high tackle. Josh Reeves is one, yep, above the shoulder.
Number one.
Out Seattle, nice kick
Sub.
by Ben Sema.
Just hold the ball, Khalil. Just hold
Got
the ball
another
for me.
sub, Franco Vandenberg
He's
out
only got
at
the back
prop.
as well.
Then comes big Holo Maungaloa, 6'2", 265 from Tonga. Played at St. Mary's, played with the Eagles. Vandenberg had a try.
Time back on.
Second of the season, way back in the 18th minute. Big sequence here for Utah, down 7. Says that one win this season, 1-4-1, 8 points, second fewest in the league. Look at this maul from Seattle.
Playing advantage. Collapsing.
The ball comes out, but illegally. First the hand was up for
Time's off, guys. Time's off.
Seattle, then it appeared to, yeah, Seattle has won it. It's a penalty against Utah. The conversation's going to be had here.
Off line outs. We formed them all.
Luke Rogan and Captain Tim O'Malley.
Yeah, so that one was 17.
Could be trouble.
Got one
Repeated
before was 7.
infringements.
Have a word to your
Different
boys.
offenses.
Next
Maybe
one, if that
referees
happens
want
like
to
that, we're going to be. Okay?
Fair warning out there for the Warriors. Could be going into the pocket to show a yellow card. 10-minute sin bin, as we call it, for a player.
Scrum call.
There's another penalty here
Go on,
in this
guys.
area of the field.
Here comes the scrum, and this is where Seattle is the #1 team in the league in this department. 96% successful scrums. There's JP Smiths
Make sure you have shoulders on, yeah?
off the
Shoulders
bench.
on.
South Africa, former Pro 14 player with the Southern Kings.
Crow.
Make this a 2-score game with about 15 minutes to go here in Harriman, Utah.
Set.
Smith puts in, Scrum collapses.
Back elbow. Elbow up.
First
for
scrum
me.
with
Yep.
Ungaloa at prop as well. Smith
Make
gets
sure
some
we give him
commands
that.
from the sidelines. It's been a physical, bruising game, and one with not a lot of stoppages, a lot of string, good ball in hand.
Crouch.
Both teams, lots of phases.
Fine.
I imagine both these teams are pretty fatigued at this point, nearing the end of this match. Big sequence here.
Use it now.
Pretty even here. Suniula. 3 meters out. Smith to Turner, who seems to be everywhere tonight.
Away. 2.
Smith saying, let's go to this left side. Utah stout so far. Smith runs to his right, dummies, spins, taken down short of the line. And then into the try zone. And it's good.
Ball down first.
Reichert Hadding, the 24-year-old from South Africa, number 2 in the league in carries, gets another try to get it up to 41 for Seattle.
Good build up there from the line out, taking it in. Early on, getting it down, and then just the pick and go forward saying, hey, we need 3 meters, we can get 3 meters. And Hadding says, I can get it myself. Sloppy defense there from the Warriors after a good first 4 or 5 phases, getting back to the feet, getting low, keeping the Seawolves out from their try line. But then they got a little bit lazy.
Was that the same picture?
And Reichert Hadding was able to pick it up, swoop in, and score.
Yeah.
This game heavily in favor of Seattle Seawolves right now, keeping the momentum on with the kick to come. Warriors have to respond because they're running out of time.
Now down 12, potentially 14 here. 13 minutes to go. As Matt Turner will hold again. Brock Stoller has done a nice job tonight. Stoller's 4 for 5 on conversions this evening, plus a penalty and a try. Goes high this time, gets caught up in the wind, and it is good. That is a difficult kick into the wind, and you saw as soon as it went high, pushed back a bit. Plenty of leg though. For the number 1
got to be clearly on the
scorer
ball
in Major League Rugby,
Yeah,
Brock
I
Stoller,
thought you were more on the body.
43-29, 2 converted tries away,
Ball on, mate. Sit in the ball.
and up in this one by 14.
Hey,
Josh Whippy into the contest for Utah. For Josh Reeves, who appeared to be injured a bit. So Utah down 14 with 12 minutes to go. Let's see if they can muster any kind of comeback here. Tim O'Malley takes over kicking duties. The free kicks.
what was it?
Penalty
You were in
for
front of the
Utah.
last man that played it.
And an opportunity here.
You're
Now
in
down
front of the last
14.
man
Do you
that
kick
played
for the
it. Came
3
forward
into
up
the
on your
wind
boots.
quickly? I would think that you got to go for 5 here. You kick into touch and try and get that 5, and Tim O'Malley will take over for Reeves. Arthur Berger in for Jackson Kaka.
Yeah, touches the corner, Tim.
And this late in the game, yeah, you got to go for the try. O'Malley into touch. About 10 meters out, so good opportunity here for the Utah Warriors.
Yeah, and this is the Warriors' game. They've had a lot of success, especially early on. These last few weeks, they haven't had much success doing anything really, but they're really good in the forwards, taking it in, the mauls from the lineouts. So this is a big platform. They're going to want to get it down, take it in.
Don't knock on.
That ball spilled. Was it knocked on or no?
I didn't hear you, mate.
Apparently it
Knock
was
on, Green.
sideways or backwards. Angus McClellan.
I still can't hear.
Arthur Burgle, the Brazilian, wants it. Finally tackled, 4 meters out. Utah needing something quick. Here's big Maungaloa. Lance Williams met. Duchel with a great tackle, drags Williams backwards. Williams leans forward. The ruck forms. Ika, John Cullen. That seawall is up right now In the 70th minute, O'Malley inside to Josh Whippy, the sub. Whippy lays back. Ika now, the open side. Williams, that hair flowing everywhere. Burgo. Oh, a driving tackle. Utah still with possession. Ungaloa. 10 minutes to go, down 14 for Utah. Gannon Moore. Ben Sema holding on.
Stay there, boys. Step back for me.
Utah losing territory here. Williams with help of McClellan. Ika. Ungaloa. Precious seconds ticking off the clock right now. O'Malley trying to make a play. Duchel with a physical tackle. Picked up by Donpati, nearly got through. Tim Metcher met him at the break. To Amoheloa with the nice move. There's Jensen. A lot of one-man ball right now. O'Malley, Moore, spills it to Williams. Williams! 5 meters out. The keeper from Donpati. But look at that seawall right near the touchline. And the string of phases continues. But Seattle has met it so far. Matthew Jensen slips his way near the line. 1 meter out. Cullen back to O'Malley. Cullen tackled by Sema and then dotted down. Is it a try? It's held up.
I think he's going to the sideline. He's going to want to check with his assistant referee or touch judge.
Whippy thinks he's got it. Went into the padding, which is, if you go down on the ground with the padding, that is a try. Another look at Josh Whippy. Now the question is it knocked on, perhaps?
Well, it's going to be tough to see because we don't have a television match official or TMO. But
and it is ruled a try. It is ruled a try, and Utah is within striking distance after this conversion. Should it be good? Josh Whippy, the sub, comes on, the former BYU Cougar National Champion All-American, and now we've got a match.
Yeah, we'll back it up a few phases, and beautiful build-up from Gannon Moore. Beautiful pass out the back door. I thought Lance Williams was going to be in. He was dragged down 5 meters out, and the Warriors, with that patience that they've lacked for the last few games, as O'Malley adds the extra 2.
O'Malley 4 for 5 tonight on conversions, and now it's a one-score game, a converted try. And you look at John Cullen, that guy is beat up, but still in there. 73rd minute, and Seattle up 7. It's been a fantastic match, Johnny, and look at the points that have accumulated tonight. 79 tonight. We had 95 on Saturday. Defense optional here at Zions Bank Stadium.
Nice to see this one a little bit more even contest. With about 7 minutes and change coming up. Warriors need to score again, and the Seawolves need to hold on.
7 minutes to go. Down 7 for the Utah Warriors. And this one won by the Seawolves. What a play. Roland Suniula. And Seattle might be able to put this one away early.
Oh, back.
Metcher. What a play by Roland Suniula. 20 caps with the Eagles.
No, he's not.
And holding on Seattle, so Utah's going to get it back. And that's a big play because Roland Suniula almost closed the door on this thing by himself.
Yeah, that was a bit of magic from Sema to Suniula. Goes up and gets there, practicing that a lot before the game, and I didn't see them convert many, but when it came down to a crucial moment, they did. And then, unfortunately for Seattle, but fortunately for Utah, they were penalized for holding on, and Utah is able to clear.
And Utah with the line out coming up. 6 minutes to go, down 7. With possession, as Jeremy Lieber will throw it in. As they wait for a ball. Comes the ball boy.
Numbers now, Green. Numbers now.
Pretty stressful job being a ball boy.
Have you done it?
I did when I was really young, and
Play
it
on.
was a stressful
No
job.
contest, play on.
You speak from experience.
Whoa!
Whippy back to Lauti. Lauti on his horse. No help. Looking for someone to offload it to. He's already to the 22, and Utah with an opportunity here to tie this thing up. Ika to Ada Elkington. Duchel, one of the best tacklers in the league. The big men, Moungaloa. Counter ruck's a pretty good one.
No.
Ika digging it out. Matt Jensen. Down 7. One possession game right now. O'Malley. Virgo back to Patti. 5 minutes to go. Swung to the far side. Arthur Burgo, the Brazilian. Ika. O'Malley wants to take it himself and then spilled forward. Seattle with the advantage on the knock-on, and this could be dangerous. Matt Turner. Matt Turner! Getting around John Cullen. Matt Turner all the way! Utah had hope. They now have none. Matt Turner goes the distance with 4.5 minutes to go. And the Seawolves go up 12.
Oh man, if you're not a rugby fan and you just saw that, well now you are a rugby fan, because that was magic from both teams, and unfortunately we can't give them both points. Started off with a beautiful inside ball, Josh Whippy, but then Tim O'Malley trying to force it back to Whippy, who started it all with that beautiful pass. And that's just rugby, you know, the free-flowing game from that fumble or knock-on, as you will. And then Matthew Turner racing against John Cullen. Back versus forward. I'm always going to back the backs in that race. Too much gas. Heroic effort from JC, but couldn't chase him down, and this could be good night for the Warriors.
Utah on the verge of potentially tying this game. Now down 12 and perhaps 14. We'll see the kick into the win from Brock Stoller, but the try adds points. And I think it was J.P. Smith, by the way,
Thanks, buddy.
who had a hand on Josh Whippy to prevent 2 clean hands. Tanata Lauti chewed up a bunch of territory here to get all the way inside the 22, and you think Utah's gonna tie this thing up. But the great tackle on Josh Whippy as that ball's being played there, and Matt Turner goes the distance to put Seattle up 12 with 2 minutes to go. And Brock Stoller can take his time on this one. 5 of 6 tonight, and misses that one. But the precious seconds more valuable than the potential 2 points right there. Up 12 against Utah. What a play by Matt Turner. This is a season high 48 points for Seattle. Previous high was 35 against Toronto. And Utah is a season high 36 as well. It's a good kick, bounces in the favor of Utah. They need a extremely quick try and then a chance at another one.
Stay out of it, yeah.
Williams to Whippy. Try score a moment ago.
Stay at top.
Need something quick here if they're gonna have a chance to at least get a kickoff and the ball in hand. Next time, 1.5 minutes to go. Utah doesn't have a sense of urgency necessarily right now. Here's O'Malley. He'll kick into touch. I think Utah's got to score in the next 1 minute here to have a chance to get another possession.
Yeah, they've got to go, that's for sure.
Still slow.
A little bit slow forming this line out. Because like you said, Jerem, you know, every second counts now, and there's about 60 left of them. So even if they do score, it might be too little too late. So they've got to put together something quick here. So I'm going to look for them to go out into the back line from the line out, or at least that's what I'd do. Give yourself the best chance at scoring and scoring quick.
Right, 1 minute to go. Maul forms. I think the maul's going to take too long, Johnny. They've got to score in the next 45 seconds or else it's going to be a done deal. Ball comes out. Ika. Whippy. This one's knocked on. I guess not. Not rolling away. Seattle took it, kicked it into touch, hoping to just milk clock. And that's a good idea. Ball boy brings it in.
Time's off, guys.
He signaled at Seattle, and now a conversation being had. Utah's not going to have a chance at a second possession here.
Next one's going to go to the big.
Down 12.
Next one's going, yeah?
Suniula with the chat. Tim O'Malley originally called it his. Luke Rogan's arm went up for Seattle. What he meant was Utah. About 20 seconds left in this one. We'll see if Utah scores just to get a chance at another one. Of course, what we've got on the screen, unofficial, time is with the ref, but in-house, we are right at 80 minutes. So let's see if Utah can get a try and then see if there's any time left after the conversion. I would think not, down 12 right now.
One tough. Fine.
And what could happen here is Utah could get an extra bonus point if they were to get a try, but they will not, and we're past 80.
Have this gone.
As Utah turns it over in Seattle, we'll elect to have
That'll be it.
a scrum here in extra time. And Utah will lose another one. Down 7. With ball in hand, about 10 meters out, Johnny. And Matt Turner makes the play of the game to win it for Seattle.
Yeah, he definitely changed the game with that one, and that's how quickly momentum can swing. Yeah. Warriors needed this one coming into this game. And it looks like they're only going to come away with 1 point when all is said and done, because this looks like this is the last play. So we won't see Seattle get too extravagant. Look to just kick it into touch. This one should be over.
Ben Sema with the finishing touches, the strawberry on top, and that'll do it. Seattle wins 48-36. Utah had a chance at least getting another bonus point, but at 8 points at this point in the season, the bonus point's not really going to put you in a position to climb up the standings. But what a game we had tonight. Seattle makes a play at the end as Utah was knocking on the door to potentially tie this one, and Matt Turner with the steal and the breakaway all the way for the try. And what a night we had. 7 tries for Seattle, 5 for Utah, 12 combined. Matt Turner with the backbreaker for Seattle. Tim O'Malley trying to find Josh Whippy. And JP Smith with hands on Josh Whippy. And Matt Turner says, I will take it the distance and close the door as Seattle wins 48-36. We'll be back with some final thoughts and the man of the match after this. Seattle 48, Utah 36, your final.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Left to me is beating in this guitar every night a different town. country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Final score 48-36. Seattle comes into Utah for the first time ever and takes down the Utah Warriors. This was an exciting game, Johnny, one in which Utah had possession, ball in hand, down 7, 10 meters away. Matt Turner closes the door on Utah.
Yeah, just back-breaking stuff there for Utah. If you're a player, coach, or even just a fan, you know, so much potential, and then they couldn't get the finish they were after. But credit to the Seattle Seawolves. They did everything to stick in this contest. They showed that why they were the champions last year by sticking in this, and why they're making a run at being another champion again this year.
Brad Tucker, tremendous match. Our man of the match tonight. 2 tries, very physical tackler in the run of play as well.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything, right? If you just saw him without a number, you wouldn't be able to see if he was a forward or a back, because he was just brilliant here. You know, this was an easy try, but what we don't see until we go back and look at the film was all the tackles he made, all the physicality, all the offloads. He did everything. He was everywhere tonight. Congratulations to our man of the match, Brad Tucker.
Now Seattle with the 4 points for the win and the bonus point for the 4+ tries. Tied for second. This is a team that won the championship last year. Top 4 team right now. They're in contention again this year.
Yeah, I mean, Major League Rugby last year, it was pretty good competition. This year we see from all teams, it's just a step up. You know, it's been taken to the next level. And so we see some great teams out there. Seattle's one of those great teams, and they're a force to be reckoned with.
Where does Utah go from here? Because they've scored a season high in points the last 2, but they've allowed 64 and now 48 in back-to-back matches against good teams.
Yeah, so looking at the standings, it's going to be really tough to see even if Utah have a mathematical chance of making it to the playoffs. But we got to make sure if you're a Utah coach or player that you just stick with it, right? You build up the momentum either for this season to finish off strong or for next season. So it's still a lot to play for Utah.
Certainly had some good opportunities at the end, and we saw another great match. It was Toronto kind of pouring it on Utah there at the end after a close one. Seattle tonight. First trip ever to Utah, altitude not an issue. Brock Stoller was fantastic kicking even into the win, and Seattle gets the win, the 5 points. They're in second place, and that'll do it for us from Harriman, Utah at Zions Bank Stadium. Your final score, Seattle 48 and Utah 36. Have a good one. Tonight's match is brought to you by Virginia Mason Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, exclusive medical provider of the Seattle Seawolves. Discover more at virginiamason.org/ortho. Virginia Mason, be remarkable. Washington Federal, your banking team partner for more than 100 years and awarded Best Bank by Money Magazine. Ivar's, seafood, Seawolves, it's the perfect match. Ivar's restaurants have been serving up award-winning seafood since 1938. Stop by Ivar's for Seattle's original seafood. AutoSource, Big D, Embassy Suites, and by Nui.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's